Earlier this morning we received communication with the RCMP on this matter, and we started the process of bringing together our team that would follow our procedures around this to determine the next response. And it was decided in cooperation with the law enforcement that we would first off evacuate those schools so that those students could be safe. The safety of students is ultimately our priority in all matters. So we would err and have those students out of the school evacuated first. The second process was to make sure that they went to their safe locations, which were pre-established areas that were have been designed by schools previous to and practiced around for different situations similar to this, where they would know to go. Then there was a decision to assemble our transportation system to make sure those students could be taken safely home, those that traveled on our transportation system, and communicate to our parents as well the next steps. And we were able to assemble that group by 11:30 this morning. That process is still ongoing, but given the nature of the timing, we feel that we were able to bring things together as quickly as we possibly could, and it would have been communicated to parents that we were moving along as quickly as possible. I noticed on the drive over here, I went through a number of communities where the schools are, and I have to say how impressed I was to watch everybody coming together. Parents were there and responding. City crews were out controlling traffic directions. There was a police presence, of course. School officials have performed incredibly, both principals and their staffs, and all manners. So that is really encouraging. I know there'll be a process to look at this afterwards, but primarily we wanted to ensure the safety of those students and to make sure that we could ensure their safety. And through the people that we've worked with today, we feel we've accomplished that.
What's the plan for tomorrow?
So now, once we complete the process of having students safely at home, we'll then go revisit those schools in cooperation with law enforcement services. We'll make sure that those schools are places that students can return to. We will be ready for tomorrow to have them back in the building. This is not a normal day, and this is a day that I think we've responded to well. But we can learn from some of the things that we've gone through today. It's early in the school year. Students and staffs were practicing their safe plans and reestablishing them. This is an extra reminder that we need to do so. I think tomorrow will be a very good day for students in their schools.
Starting at the regular time?
Starting at the regular time, unless we communicate some different message. But at this point in time, we're very hopeful that those school staffs will be able to get through those schools, as was mentioned. They have a skill to be able to see if anything's out of place and make sure that those environments are right.
Was there any thought in evacuating any of the school administrations, like the school boards and that type of thing?
Not in our discussion, not the school boards, but in our discussions early on when we were evacuating schools of all personnel, and we were not allowing initially any personnel to return to school, which made communication challenging because we were sending out a lot of email communication, and of course for some, those emails were attached to computers in their schools. So we assembled an incredible team, both the Department of Education as well as the Public Schools Branch and the French School Board assembled very quickly an incredible team that was on the phone, chasing down ways to communicate. And like I said, we'll take that back to improve that. But I think overall, our students are safe. We were able to make a decision that was in their interest, and we're confident moving forward.
Was every school able to rehearse or go through, since the school year is very early, were they able to go through the evacuation plan as of this early into the year?
I can't say for sure. I can try to find out. I do know that early in the school year, schools go through a procedure of having 3 or more fire drills. And then usually by October, that's usually when they start to reinvest in their safe plans. But many students in schools would have been there a previous year, and certainly their staffs would have been, so there would have been some familiarity. Can appreciate the challenges and the stress that it would be for kindergarten students and their parents. Again, our staffs are so capable of responding and making people feel comfortable. And I think that would be a huge part of this is that kind of relationship that the teachers were having with those students to help them understand what was going on and to find a way to calm them through this.
How do you react to this just personally, of this happening?
Don't think that I'm personally reacting at this point in time. I'm working with a team, and we had a job to do because of this situation, and we had procedures to follow, and that was really important, that we had a system by which we would address the issue, have conversation with the police, with the law enforcement about it, and then come up with a decision and communicate it across the board that everybody was aware of. All levels were informed, and there will be an opportunity to debrief this and to discuss how we can improve this if we ever had to do this again, and also how we can ensure that our students are safe through all issues.
Do you feel that enough was done to try to notify parents of what was going on? We had a lot of parents contacting us trying to find out information.
Well, thank you for working with us. I think you're a key part of the communication lines. We did everything we could, and we'll look at that to make sure that if there's more we can do, if it was to ever occur again. I think I heard somebody ask the constable whether or not this had been happened before. I think this is new to us, so we're reacting in a new way to it. But we have plans and procedures, and I think we followed them.
Parker, when do you expect then this afternoon to get the all clear from all the schools across the province?
As soon as I leave here, I'll return to the team that's been working on this. They were working as I left, and so I know that we'll have a lot more comfort. The first thing that we needed was communication from those schools that they had, in fact, been able to evacuate the schools. Then we were getting communication that they, in fact, had made sure that every student was home, safe, and then we'll go to the next step, which is to ensure that every school is ready to start again tomorrow.
Are you concerned at all about the safety of staff, given the fact that they're going to be the ones identifying any potential threats?
I don't think we've outlined exactly the process yet by which we will identify those potential issues. It could involve some staff, but only when there's the all clear on the building, and I believe you've got some messaging around some confidence that there was an all clear, but it may not be all staff at all times. It may be some staff.
Are any staff in the buildings right now?
Not that I'm aware of at this moment.
So they're not allowed in right now?
Not at this moment. When I leave here, we'll go to the next step. But your question about is there concern? Always concerned about the safety of not only our students, but also our employees and the work that they do.
So just to clarify, the threat came in, it was one threat that came to RCMP in Ottawa via fax.
I can't really get into the specifics on that. I think it would be better for law enforcement to do so. But we were informed of it, and through our process of cooperating with those law enforcement agencies, the decision was made that not only our 56 public school branch schools, but also the 6 French language schools were going to be evacuated first, and then those students were going to be transported home.
Do you know anything about when it was decided that P.E.I and all Holland colleges across the province would be evacuated as well?
I'm getting this with you right now, so I can't comment on that, but it would seem to be consistent with the responding to this not normal, significant threat and the safety of our students. It's of paramount importance to us. We'll err on the side of caution, and we hope that we are just being cautious.
And you hope you don't have to deal with this again?
I sure hope that we don't, and we'll make sure that we review this process so that we can ensure the safety of our students in the public schools branch, and as well ensure that they get the learning opportunities each day that they need.